Packers training camp is underway in Green Bay, and nobody is bringing you closer to the action than us.
We are enjoying some special teams work, some individual drills right now for the offense and defensive linemen, DBs in front of us.
All of the storylines, all of the emerging stars, and all of the big plays out of camp. Analyzed by two guys who know Packers football inside and out.
Quarterbacks at this time of year, veteran quarterbacks especially, they'll be trying throws here that they wouldn't try elsewhere.
Training camp coverage on Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Now, live from the perch above Ray Nitschke Field, with the voice of the Packers, Wayne Larrivee.
And the Packers deliver the dagger.
Here is Packers OT host, Bill Schmid.
Welcome back to Ray Nitschke Field, and welcome into day 3 of Packers training camp. I'm Bill Schmid, not joined today by the voice of the Green Bay Packers, but the voice of Green Bay Packers fans for decades and decades on the internet. Cheesehead TV's very own Aaron Nagler joins me up here on the perch. Hello, Aaron Nagler. Thank you for joining us here today.
Bill Schmid, how are you?
Phenomenal. You can say that word. Don't worry about it. We're ready to roll. That is cleared on FCC on Fox Sports 1070 Madison, 920 a.m. in Milwaukee, as well as YouTube, X, and Facebook on Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin. You can also be streaming us on Cheesehead TV, and you should. And if you haven't, you go and subscribe, then unsubscribe, and then resubscribe. Do that about 15, 20 times. Help the algo out, and make sure that you're listening to Aaron Nagler daily talking Packers football throughout the 2026 championship season. Nags, last day before the real stuff happens and the pads come on, the big-time takeaways from camp, those come in a couple of days. The biggest one is, how good does it feel to be back in the state, watching Packers football, and appreciate you coming over here by all of us fans to be able to enjoy instead of all the cool kids on the media side?
Oh, no, this is the cool side. This is great. I love it. Your perch here, getting to see the entirety of the field all at once, as opposed to when you're on the other sideline and you have to walk up and down, you're missing half the action. I can see everything up here. This is amazing.
And the best thing is, and I think Luke Butkus maybe vouched for it, they put the offensive lineman right in front of us.
Exactly.
And I mean, not only just the 2-on-1, the combo drills that they're doing right now, and Jordan Morgan flying next to Jacob Monk.
Yes,
you get to see just how athletic and physically imposing they can be without pads. Excited to see when it happens with pads on. But these guys right here, Nags, when we've talked on Carry the G Radio, the podcast, another one, like and subscribe. And if you haven't, you're missing out.
Yes, you are.
I feel like weekly we've talked about that being the biggest wild card for the 2025 season that's already been put to bed, and the 2026 one that we're just birthing here.
I mean, it's no mystery at all that they can score a bunch of points, move the ball without question, regardless of what the offensive line looks like. They did that all last year. But yes, this group, if it improves, it gives you a better, more consistent, high level of play throughout the season, then they're really going to be cooking with gas on the offensive side of the ball. Because we know you keep Jordan Love upright, you keep him clean, he is going to tear you apart. He's going to absolutely feast on NFL defenses as long, again, as he's got a pocket. Give him a pocket, he will destroy you.
Well, and as long as maybe the cry for help and the statement of begging from our man Aaron Nagler earlier today towards the head coach maybe helps. When you did get Matt LaFleur earlier today within the last hour and 15 minutes to say we're going to let Jordan Love cook, that feels like rather significant news here on day 3 of training.
I mean, he was probably responding to somewhat of a joking nature that I said it in, but it's on the record now. You said
it's
it into a microphone.
Now he can't back down.
We made a social, post about it, so it feels like that's news.
Listen, words can come and go, but clips live forever, especially on the internet,
Exactly.
and especially in Packers fandom.
Precisely.
Where I think, and I want to get your take on this, because Jordan is going to be the main talker, even though it feels like we haven't talked about him a whole lot. Today, the main talker will be Tucker Kraft back at practice.
Oh, yeah.
And he's out working with the pass catchers right now. Looks phenomenal. I mean, like, we're not supposed to talk about the guys that are in the rehab group, so we've shied
He's
away
not
from
in
it.
the rehab group
He's
anymore.
no longer
so now
in the
it's
rehab group.
okay to talk about him.
Next,
Yes.
the dude looks cut like no other.
Yes.
When I see a picture of anybody squatting 6 plates, I get excited. Knowing what he did in the offseason around the injury and then to be ready with the injury, very exciting. But he feels like one of those guys that I think the next key for Jordan in the offense, especially in the pass game, not just shrinking the mouths to feed, not only condensing the targets, but maybe being a little selfish and knowing at any point in time that guy can win a one-on-one matchup. And even if the look might say run the ball, maybe just get it to him in a one-on-one and see if he can break a tackle and make us play. I think that's the next evolution of his game that comes only with time and confidence in everybody around.
Well, and we saw some of that towards kind of the end of that stretch he was on the field last year. And that is such a big component to the Packers offense in general, as far as get the ball to a guy in space and let him run with it. Tucker did a ton of that last year, especially his last couple of games prior to going down against Carolina. But you're not wrong as far as, building that kind of thing into an offense. And we know, actually asked Matt about that this morning, as far as the work they did in the offseason to break down the offense and then build it back up from the base principles. I have to think some of that is going to be built around how do we get the ball to Tucker with the ability to run after the catch? Because, man, he made absolute hay in that regard in 2025. And I got to think they're going to look to kind of pick up where they left off their week 1 in Minnesota.
And one of the other guys that they didn't have for the majority of the season, who's made that one of his specialties, is Jaden Reed. I mean, his pass catching numbers rookie year were great, but it was what he does when the ball's in his hands as to why he just got paid on draft day. And I think the consistency of those guys in the lineup, obviously number one, the most paramount part of it. But to be able to capitalize when you have all those guys on the field, I don't know that there was a snap last year where you had Kraft, Watson, Reed, Golden, Jacobs, all five on the field.
Not once.
You never had them all
Not
on the field one time. And for in 2026, a team that had 9 wins and had control of the number 1 seed, to not have their best 5 guys on the field at one time, that feels like a positive going into the year.
You would hope so, but then you can turn around if you're a cynic, which on the internet, that does seem to happen sometimes.
It's a good place to live, yes.
So a few cynics out there that, you're counting on that happening in a way that they have. A lot of these guys have not exhibited the ability to stay on the field, to play all the games in a season. Football is a violent sport. We all know injuries are part of the game. Injuries are going to strike. But any stretch of time where they can get that group together, it's the sky is the limit for the offense. But it does come back to if they have time, if the offensive line does its job, if they get a better performance up front. That, to me, we've talked about it all offseason, that is the entire key for the offensive side of the ball, but also somewhat kind of the defensive side of the ball early in the season while you're waiting for Micah Parsons to return. The best way to help your defense is to, A, possess the ball, and B, score a ton of points.
Yes.
And make that opposing offense one-dimensional. Because, man, the longer, they have to rely on a Micah-less edge group, the tougher it's going to be.
Even though I like the parts of the edge group, we're going to get to them a lot later on here. That offensive line yesterday, the biggest quote during the locker room period was when Aaron Banks said, I think we can have the best offensive line in the league. Now,
all right, that's wonderful, and
we got to have confidence.
It's July.
Everybody could at this point. Nobody's lost the game yet.
No.
I just the consistent nature that they never had a year ago gives me confidence that it could happen. Now, today, at least during the walkthrough portion, was the first time that we had a look of all 5. Your assumed starting 5 from left to right: Morgan, next to Banks, in the middle, Sean Ryan, Anthony Belton, who looks really good here, year number 2. Body looks phenomenal. And then Zach Tom off of the patella injury right next to him. We'll see once they get to, live drills how that works. But for all of those guys to be locked into one position, I know we had talked about it during the offseason. I still thought Belton would be a potential cross-train guy. Would they move him around, and would you see him working at tackle a little bit?
Reps, yeah. Exactly.
And instead, it looks like they're saying, no, go dominate this job, make yourself as confident as ever in this, and then we'll build off of it. I think that's something they look back on from last year maybe as a little bit of a regret.
And I'll tell you what, he at least doesn't have someone nipping at his heels right out of the gate due to Jager Burton's injury, the hamstring injury. That's very disappointing. Clearly, any rookie missing time, first part of camp, is not how you draw it up. But LaFleur did say this morning, and there's no long-term concern for Burton's hamstring. So hopefully we expect to see him at some point, probably late next week, maybe going into family night. But, I mean, this is, how it is, Billy. You miss time, and all of a sudden you are gone. It is a long way back to even getting, quality reps that really become few and far between once the regular season starts.
Yeah, because, I mean, once the regular season starts, especially the lack of pads and the physicality, that's not getting turned back up once the season and the live bullets go, right? So you got to get that work and that cohesion. And now it's one of the reasons why I like them going to the group that you think, that you hope would be the best 5, and then move from there. We're looking at our boy Jacob Monk, a big camp for him. Big couple of days for
man.
number 62.
Jacob Monk, I love that draft pick. Thought he had a really good summer his rookie year, but man, since then it has been tough sledding for Jacob until that game in Minnesota last year, where he actually looked really good. So, yeah, hopefully he picks up from where he left off in that regard, because you're right. This is put up or shut up time, and there's no doubt that there's going to be opportunities along the interior. Yes. They need that help. They need that depth, and he can really make a big case here for the next kind of week or so when pads come on Monday, go through family night into that first preseason game. This is going to be an important stretch for Monk, no question.
Do you think people have talked enough about the importance of Zach Tom's health? I mean, a year ago,
not nearly as much when you compare it to what the digital ink that's been spilled about Micah Parsons. And that's no shade to Micah, but like everyone talks about the fact, you didn't win another game after Micah went down. Well, after Micah and Zach Tom went down. Like
your best French player on both sides.
There's a compounding factor there where your two best frontline players on both sides of the ball missed the final 5 games. Well, no kidding. Yes, it was a little tougher to win some football games. Zach Tom, you can't overstate his importance and how good he is and what they can do when he's out there that they can't when he's not. As far as set it and forget it against the top edge rushers in the league. Look no further than that Thanksgiving game. He absolutely erases Hutchinson in Detroit. And they, obviously can't do that when his backup's in there.
No, and I also think that I've been talking about this and feel pretty strongly about it. Obviously, left tackle, blind side is very important. That's been stressed for decades. But the guy that you're looking at and the pressure that you can feel and see and sense right into your lap, just as important.
Pretty important.
To be able to stabilize the guy right in front of you feels like one of the biggest keys for it. And Tom's been so good since coming in from college at that, just being able to be consistent and a hold in front feels like an important part of their development here. And your boy Jagger Burton, as we see number 52 right in front of us here, no helmet. He'll get in hopefully coming up next week. That was your draft crush that you dropped us with
number 1
right before you got off of our draft show this year. We were talking about Denai Dennis Sutton, who was the 4th round pick that day. And I guess I didn't understand. I probably should have. I mean, no, I shouldn't have watched more Penn State because they were bad last year. But he produced for a team that was bad and produced every time he'd been on the field. He is a full-on get-off-the-bus guy. While Barron Sorrell looks like he's in phenomenal shape, that edge rush competition that we knew was going to be one of the biggest conversation points has not disappointed. It's been fun to watch here the first couple of days.
It has, but before the pads come on, it's pretty – you have to take it all with a grain of salt.
Totally.
And you heard LaFleur, I think it was 2 days ago, when he talked about, there's lots you can't do technique-wise as far as using the pads to your advantage or whatever. But there is, an expectation. You still have to play the position. You still have to set an edge. You have to work that edge and things like that. But, man, it is going to be, once Monday rolls around and things get a lot more real, as it were, Sorrell and DDS, that is going to be fun to watch, because I do think there are obviously plenty of snaps available for the guy who exhibits the most in the next 2 weeks.
And we've talked a lot about Brenton Cox and his ability, but Lucas Van Ness is always going to be a lightning rod until he comes up with a 12-sack year and gets into a contract. And at that point, then people will bitch and moan about the contract extension. That
we say that on the air? We're allowed?
100%.
You need a dump button? No, we're good? All right, good. Yeah.
Hunter might not be very ready to do that. We should be fine. But you see it so much of, I think against the run, he can be very, very helpful. He was very good at points last year. Yesterday, he had one play where he strings out the run on the outside, and it's perfect technique, perfect form. But I can't get too excited because I need to be able to see it with pads on.
Yes.
Is he going to be the most but guy during camp?
Yeah,
absolutely. But it was a good day.
Without question.
But we need to see it in games.
All I know is I remember last year, very specifically, this image is burned in my brain because it was the morning someone, I can't remember who it was, but someone on the beat had written a piece about Lucas Van Ness. People were very excited because he was having a good camp. And then towards the end of the practice, they took a deep shot. Malik Willis drops back, and they had a tight end to his side. It was some no-name, undrafted, backup tight end who absolutely locked him up.
Oh,
and it's just
yeah.
you can't have that.
Yeah, that'll
You
stick.
can't have it. The no-name backup tight end cannot be locking down
That
the
can't
13th
ISO
overall
up.
pick.
No,
it
no
can't
chance.
happen. So until that becomes a distant memory and the regular sight is him destroying, you don't want to put a tight end on me.
No.
You want to make defensive coordinators think twice about putting a tight end on you. But if I can just set it and forget it with a tight end to eliminate one of my supposed frontline edge rushers, you got problems. You got problems in Green Bay.
Yeah, and then it's a big miss as to what you got going on next year for money that's allocated. I think he's primed to have a good run, but I don't know what will, and proof will be in the pudding in the games. Whatever will be good enough. Right? Good is a very subjective term, Aaron Nagler.
Well, no, here's where this goes back to what we were talking about earlier as far as the offense. Put up points. Get in the second half,
Correct.
have a lead, and let these guys pin their ears back, not have to worry about a full complement on the playbook side for the offense. I think LVN can be really effective.
Mm-hmm.
But you start, having a Ben Johnson who has an entire kind of menu in front of him about what he can call, then you're going to have issues.
Makes it a different story. You mentioned that man down south. We're going to talk a little bit about the division. We're going to talk about all the different teams in the NFC North and the practices that are going on and the camp battles that apparently are up 2-0 to the former quarterback of the Michigan Wolverines. What an L for the Vikings. We got a lot more time to be able to discuss that one and everything transpiring in front of us here on Ray Nitschke Field. Right dead center in front of us is Tucker Kraft catching a football with a helmet on, and that is a beautiful sight. That is the lead story here today. Tucker Kraft back at practice for the Green Bay Packers. And Nags made me a loser if they would have been booking this bet at the presenting sponsor of our show here, Training Camp Live, the Potawatomi Sportsbook, bet above the rest, I would have lost. So I appreciate Potawatomi Sportsbook not putting up the prop bet of will Tucker Kraft be the highest paid tight end in football by the time he touches the practice field. I thought he would. I thought the contract was going to be locked in. Doesn't appear to be the case.
I will say it is interesting, that timing and how that has seemingly been a regular occurrence with some of these bigger names. Like, remember Jordan Love and the kind of time we had to wait while he was sitting around in street clothes.
One of the stranger 8 days of a training camp.
Bizarre, right?
Yes.
Just bizarre when you have all offseason to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
And Brian legit said point blank, well, we've been working up to the Tucker deal. Like, what? Wouldn't the Tucker deal be the first deal you get done? I'm real confused on this one.
If it's the highest priced one,
get that done and then work from there. That's how I would do it. But I'm no Russ Ball.
No, but you know what? You are a parent and you are a father. And at one point, you probably told your young daughters, why don't you take out the biggest assignment on the checklist, then do all the other homework? Because that's what I did. I always did the toughest one at home.
Then it's not looming.
Yeah,
it's not sitting there like some creature about to pounce on you. It's over. It's done. You've slayed the dragon.
And then all the rest of it you could just do in class just before it was due.
Yeah.
877-794-1973 is the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line way to get in touch with us. Also on the YouTube comments and super chats available.
We got some super chats.
Come on now.
We got Doug Hype saying you boys deserve a delicious Carry the G cream ale.
Oh, now he doesn't necessarily know this Yeti does not have a Carry the G cream ale in it.
Or does it?
Correct. That's the right statement. That's the right statement.
Oh,
you'll understand a lot more in like the fifth segment if it does. If in the middle of hour 2 that we've had those going, then it'll be rather evident.
And Bill with a super chat. Thank you so much, Bill. He's a Cheesehead TV Patreon member. Packer fandom is fortunate with your passion. Well, that's very kind, Bill.
Let's go, Bill.
Really appreciate it.
First off, great name there. Second off, the passion of Packers fans, it never ceases to amaze me. Most importantly, at this event, Nags, like it is, it's one of my favorite things in sports is anything that's free. If it's free, it's me, and give me 3. And for this to still be a free event, when I'm seeing multiple NFL teams put out links to buying tickets,
right?
Reserving tickets, they're free, but we have to reserve them and maybe pay a little servicing fee.
Yeah, something like that.
That's something that I don't know you're ever going that's going to change, and it's one of the greatest parts of the fan experience here at training camp.
I will also say, though, that we'll talk about this later in the segment because I know people want to talk ball and they're going to start doing team stuff here in a minute. But the protect our plays movement from the Green Bay Packers, and now extending the shooting periods to this side of the field, to the
big
policing
time,
the
yes.
fans.
Oh, yeah.
I thought the fans own the team. If I own this thing, I can take whatever photo I want.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. Maybe I can fire it up on Pack TC Clips online, and anybody can fire that thing up. Whoever's running that account, bravo, my friend.
Oh,
Bravo, my friend. Thank you. Thank you. And also picking good highlights.
yes.
Right?
Not
Like that's,
looking at to embarrass anybody.
yeah, not
Right.
like what the admin for the Texans did to CJ Stroud.
How insane was that?
That's a tough look, Aaron.
I mean,
I'm going to be honest with you. It's
supposed to be supporting the club.
supposed to help. Supposed to be helping, like Evan Siegel does. That
Evan.
shot Evan has of Matthew Golden walking in after practice.
Absolute.
Sublime.
Legend.
It's one of the most
Legend.
beautiful things that you're going to see. All right, so we are going to take a quick timeout. Actually, you know what? Let's hang out here for right now because they're about to go into a team period, and we're going to get some good stuff right in front of us here to be able to discuss. Actually, check that. We got to take a quick timeout. We'll be back, and we'll have a lot of reaction to what we see during this team period right after this. You got it live on YouTube, X, and Facebook. Cheesehead TV's YouTube page. I throw my pen cap right at Nag's face.
I thought there was a fan throwing something at us. Like, you guys need to shut up.
Suck! Shut up! They're going to team. No one wants to listen to you guys yap. Number one's on the field. We'll have a full recap of it coming up on the other side. Aaron Nagler of Cheesehead TV to my right. I'm Billy Schmid. Thanks for streaming us. Thanks for hanging out with us. Make us your lunch date on day 3 of Packers Training Camp Live from Ray Nitschke Field, presented by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. It's Training Camp Live.
Practice at Packers training camp is underway, and we're bringing all of the storylines to you as they happen.
A couple of throws already in camp that have been exceptional.
Welcome back to Training Camp Live, presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Let's return to our perch at Ray Nitschke Field and rejoin the voice of the Packers, Wayne Larrivee, and Packers OT host, Bill Schmid.
Welcome back, live from Ray Nitschke Field. I'm Billy Schmid, alongside the voice of Packers fans worldwide, Aaron Nagler of Cheesehead TV, in for my man Wayne Larrivee here today. One's on the field back here in the middle of their first team portion. Nags, a couple of beautiful and great timing routes on the first team period, and one of the touchdown plays from the playoff game was rather successful in that first run with the ones.
Gotta love that fake to the left, boot quick to the right. There's a screaming open Christian Watson coming across the formation for an easy gain up the right sideline. We're back, baby.
Now, have your eyes seen the same thing that I have of a lot of under center play action looks so far in the first 3 days?
They've been doing a ton of it, right? No question about it. Although I will say the very first play in team today, you saw Jordan Love play action from under center, turns around, and a blitzing Keyshawn Nixon is right in his face.
Yeah, no
He had
kidding.
to throw it away into the right flat. Love Gannon utilizing the cat blitz.
Early and often, right? First play, and also great work by Keyshawn Nixon, allowing him to know I'm in the kitchen.
Yeah.
But I'm going to stay off the red jersey, and a great leaping grab across the middle by Matthew Golden. Last year, Nags, every day, we tried to quell people's excitement, but also gas it all up with everything Matthew Golden did.
He's
this
picking
year,
up right where he left
I
off.
was just going to say it hasn't been any different so far.
Nope, it looks amazing. He had a great day yesterday. Just had an amazing sky catch right now here in front of us. I can't wait to see it all come to fruition in week 15.
I think it was that's fair. A slow build.
Billy,
to
if
finally
I have
unleash
to wait
zero
for a
again.
Matthew Golden touchdown longer than a month, I am going to lose my mind.
The only people that were happier about that run than Bears fans were the Potawatomi Sportsbook folks that help us here on this show, because the amount of anytime Matthew Golden touchdowns that they booked last year in the first 17 weeks of the year were outrageous. Mostly for me,
Yeah,
believing that it was finally going to happen. And then it does in the playoff game. The going back and watching more of the 2025 season than I care to admit.
Right.
Early on, though, there were so many third and fourth, I think in the 4th and 8 in the overtime against Dallas, where you were looking towards zero. In the Cincinnati game, they don't win that game late and put it away without a couple of grabs from Matthew Golden. At least that early trust was there where I think they can try to grab it quickly again.
And then, I mean, literally the season on the line, marching in Chicago to try to take the lead, which we all know they didn't end up doing. But 4th and 7, who does he throw to on an out route?
Yep.
Matthew Golden.
Golden.
Like, there's zero doubt that Jordan Love trusts the kid,
Mm-hmm.
right? Just need to get him involved in the offense early and often this year.
A couple other good plays from this first period of team right now, where we got Kyron Drones at quarterback, who you're going to watch a lot of.
Drone strike, baby.
There's going to be a lot of drone strikes during training camp. Wayne is already loosening up that club in the bag to be able to call a couple of, hopefully, drones touchdowns. But
right.
He had a ball, or it was Tyrod Taylor who threw it to J. Michael Sturdivant, who also 87, probably going to be prominently featured during the preseason games.
Yep.
Good to bounce back after a tough drop that he had yesterday. Wayne and I are both eyeing him up. He looks the part, no doubt about it. That's a tough receiver room to try to crack if you're one of these
especially
4
when you
guys
got-
for maybe one spot.
When you got Nayor out here with that touchdown catch he had on day one, it's going to be a battle, right? Oh, we got a fumbled snap. Billy.
Yeah, we also got a false start on
We
the
get
right
some push-ups
tackle.
going. Let's do this.
Yeah, we got a false start on the right tackle. Carroll Pioneer fans remember that quite a bit from my time there. Now, luckily, it's not 78. We're reading off 79 for Travis Glover.
We're deep in the bag right now. Lots of backups, lots of depth going. This is, I believe, the threes out there right now. But it's still unacceptable no matter who it is, Billy.
100%. Now, in this threes, again, real deep in the weeds, but you're hanging out with us on Training Camp Live, so we're going to fire this one out.
Yeah.
John Williams was a 7th-round pick a year ago. He was kind of their redshirt cat
And they
a
spent
year
all
ago,
the
right?
sidelines with the back in it.
Had no reps whatsoever. This year, they have moved him all around. That time, he's lining up at center. He was lining up at guard earlier on yesterday. I saw him with a couple of tackle looks. Fascinating body type because he definitely looks the part of an NFL offensive lineman.
I couldn't agree more. I'm fascinated to watch him once the pads come on because you're right. Last year, absolute redshirt year. I think he maybe practiced like a handful of times once they did bring him on late in the season, and then they promptly put him on IR. So we haven't really any idea what this kid is going to look like against NFL competition.
Now, as we stay into a team portion, looks like a good move the ball period with the 2s and 3s as the 1s go off of the field onto the sideline. Matt mentioned trying to quell and calm down some of the competition periods. What was your take on that? I understand the statement. 10 guys on the PUP to start camp's outrageous.
Well, it's funny, too, because I think they did the first day, but yesterday it felt like they were kind of getting after it a little bit
Yeah,
more,
100%.
You know?
They also wrapped up day 1 with goal line.
Yeah. Right.
My years in football, that's competition. Like
Yes,
that a lot of
exactly.
times turns into a pretty good competition one to close. But I understand so much of it is, we have to have one competition period a day. I've always said if that's the only time you're competing, then the practice probably wasn't all that good.
All that great. Although there's the other flip side of that. I mean, there are a lot of true and tried methods throughout the years when it comes to what a practice is supposed to look like. But we're in a new age, you know? I mean, they are in and out of Ray Nitschke Field in an hour and 40 minutes.
Right.
I mean, that's incredible to think about when you're remembering, coming in here, having a 2-hour padded practice and then a break in the middle of the day where you get some lunch, maybe look at the film, and then you're back out here later that afternoon for another padded practice. Like, that obviously doesn't happen anymore. So the amount of work that they do feels a little like they're underserving, but they're working smarter, not harder. And a lot of that work is getting done in the classroom.
I long would enjoy the conversations that I'd have with Gary Ellerson and Leroy Butler going back and forth with that because Gary played for Forrest Gregg.
It's a little different.
Could you imagine what Forrest Gregg would be sitting here thinking watching this practice? Like, come back because they would run 3-a-days.
Yeah.
And then into the 90s, like, wait, this is all you guys are doing for camp? And then Leroy would walk back and say, this is all they're doing for camp. It's continued to shrink, but it's difficult to think of how ready you are for the season without, real reps, big time reps, game reps. I know they're going to have the one joint practice against Arizona, which is going to be one of the better storyline joint practices of all time.
Yeah, right.
But Nags, it's a tough balancing act. I know Zach Tom mentioned it. I want to play a little bit of preseason to get some experience under my belt. And I think they kind of need to, but it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to play in Pittsburgh because you're still a month away from a regular season game.
Yeah, I mean, there's little doubt that is going to be a conversation. And I love that Zach just put that out there during minicamp, right? Like, I really want to play in the preseason, especially from a leadership standpoint. Like, if Zach Tom wants to play in preseason, if you're Anthony Belton, you probably think, well, I want to play in
better
preseason.
Be out there, too.
I better be out there, especially just working on timing, working on cohesion. They're going to need every ounce of that at the start of the season. So I love that Zach said it. We'll see. Like you said, it's going to be a conversation. We'll see how much Matt allows them to do.
Now, the first one of the team periods and one of the ends of that first team period ended with Jonathan Ford getting some good push up the middle, as Wes Hodkowitz of Packers.com highlights in here as well. That battle on the interior defensive tackle is pretty fascinating. Now, Ford, 64 this year, a little different than his first tours of duty. But they're going to need one of either him or Nazir Stackhouse to be the true nose, right? Like, that feels like a job that's rather up for grabs.
Oh, very much so. And look, they're going to be counting on every one of those guys to take a step forward when you're talking about whether it is, the big guys like with the Stackhouse, Ford, whoever, but they're also going to run some of the non-traditional body types at nose. That's what they've done in the past. I know there's a new defensive coordinator, but they're going to do that with McClellan. They're going to let all these quote unquote pass rushing type defensive tackles. They're going to get into the mix at nose as well.
All right. Now this is going to be the nerdy part of football.
Yes, sir.
The Packers just had a false start.
They did.
Or a procedural problem. Now, there is a young man who's standing right next to Matt LaFleur. I apologize that I don't have his name off the top of my head. He is spotting the football.
Right.
He is running to the spot, putting it down, making sure we know where we're going. Matt LaFleur said, give me that thing. I'm going to spot it on this one.
Yep.
Walked it 5 yards back. I can only imagine the conversation.
He's doing it again.
And he's doing it again as he's having a quick statement there in the middle. Might not be going as well as you want on the offensive period.
When the head coach is spotting the ball, you're having a moment on offense. He's not pleased, ladies and gentlemen.
No, that would indicate a little bit of frustration with how this period rolls. But you got a really young group here on defense.
Dude, speaking of young group, look at this battle going on over here, right on this sideline between Cisse and Nyar. This has been worth the price of admission. Like, Cisse has been locking him up.
What have you noticed from him first couple of days? Because it seemed like he was phenomenal day one, and then all of a sudden there was another guy that came out here after day one with a little bit of a hamstring injury or contractitis. But quickly was back. It seemed like Brandon Cisse was one of the talks of the town after his first day.
All I can assume. Oh, I was wondering if we had another false start, but it's just a dirting the football. Yeah, Cisse, that tape must have been great on day one because it sure healed Nixon's hamstring overnight.
Quickly, wasn't it interesting how that happened?
One night, Nixon was like, okay, I'm back out there. Which, by the way, can we just address that real quick? How funny is it to hear the head coach talk about, well, he felt something, he felt a tweak, felt something, his hamstring's acting up, hamstring, right? And then the next day, not only is he not eased back into action, as every single player who's ever had a hamstring injury in the history of the Packers has been, but he's out there full go in team.
Yeah, full go, first guy on the field.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, it wasn't a great job maybe hiding that or camouflaging it. No, but I think it's because the venom's going to be out when numbers and contracts are going to be what you want to talk about.
Yep.
And Nags, I see it from both sides. I really do. One side has all the leverage. That ends up being the team.
That's
now,
correct.
but if I'm giving Keyshawn Nixon the advice, if I'm his agent side, people would say, well, that's some bad advice. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. He's 30 years old going into his final year of a contract and looking for some security. Has a beautiful shot to Jaden Reed.
Gorgeous throw from Jordan Love up the left sideline. They got a 2-minute drill going on here. Beautifully placed behind the corner in front of the safety.
A 2-minute drill, a wheel route out of the slot. It was gorgeous. And they're putting 1 minute on the clock, seeing how quickly you can get down the field. Now we get into more of the ones. This includes Jacob Monk over at left guard, in for Aaron Banks there in the team portion. Darian Kennard playing right tackle as Banks and Tom ease their way back in. No Tucker Kraft into this portion, but Josh Jacobs right next to
you mean they're
Jordan
easing
Love
them back into teamwork? They're not throwing them right back in there? That's
that is how it seemed like it worked.
Funny how that works. Interesting.
It seemed like that's how it worked. Beautiful strike across the middle to Matthew Golden as well, right inside of the coverage. You see Golden's speed across the middle, and obviously deep routes are what you think of when you think of taking the top off the defense. But all three of these guys that are on the field in the trips right now of Watson, Golden, and Reed can just run away from people across the field, can't they? Ball broken up. Good break up there by Keyshawn Nixon.
That's perfectly placed ball. How good does Jordan Love look? My gosh, through these first 3 days, he has zipped the ball with authority, and he has put it exactly where it needs to be 99% of the time. It is impressive stuff from the Green Bay Packers quarterback here at Packers training camp. And look, we've talked about it a little bit on the podcast, but it would be nice to get through a summer where Jordan Love is right as rain and ready to go week one without some kind of hitting the helmet or a little soft tissue injury. Like, can we just have Jordan Love ready to go, height of his powers week one would be a welcome development.
That's a really good point. I honestly forgot about the hitting the helmet part. And it just that ball was perfectly placed on the outside. Now it's really, really good coverage, like I said, by Nixon against Watson. But you've seen that, to me, one-on-one, my guy, I'm going to trust that I can put it where he needs to go.
Yep.
And it feels like the next spot in his game. His command of everything and leadership of not only the offense, but it felt like the whole team. It's rather understated, but it does seem like it's taken another step so far this year.
Yeah, no question. It's like it emanates, right? And you can tell that the guys are completely bought in. That's what, again, it's all about, can we get to the start of the season with this group intact? Because if they do and if they can, they are going to move the ball and they are going to score points by the boatload. Like, it is going to be fun to watch.
What do you see when, as that ball hits the chest of Sky Moore?
Sky Moore was not ready for that to travel as fast as it did.
That ball was buzzed in there in between Evan Williams.
Hit him in a bad spot,
Nixon.
right in the numbers.
Right in the numbers. And that's the part, the risky throws of, I know I can fit the ball through. that kind of confidence has really been evident with Jordan so far.
Absolutely, man. There ain't nothing he's scared of. That is for sure.
So you, before we started here on Training Camp Live, presented by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin and the Cheesehead TV YouTube pages as well, was Bobby Babbage.
Oh, heck yeah.
And his excitement here on the sideline. First off, elite hat choice that's probably available in the Packers Pro Shop. He's got the 920 hat on, which I like to see.
Yes, sir.
And supporting himself. And the hyping up of Keyshawn Nixon, it goes dead silent when that ball hits the ground because everybody wants to see touchdowns at training camp. He has been celebrating more plays than any player onto the field. I like that.
Oh, he's a demonstrative guy. That 3 days in, he is my favorite new addition to the coaching staff. What was great, they were doing a tackling drill yesterday, and he was getting after everybody. But regardless, undrafted free agent, long-term vet, it doesn't matter. He was coaching up everybody and fine tackling points, like real minutia things.
Right.
And it's the kind of stuff you want. And if you're a player, you should want that.
Yes.
Right? A guy who's going to get on you and demand perfection because, as Vince said, you're not going to attain it. You can catch excellence on the way.
Yeah, on the way.
And that's the kind of coach I want to see on the defensive side of the ball in Green Bay.
He also has gone through like every level of coaching, right? Played at NDSU. He was a Bison and then was in the FCS ranks and into the MAC with Kent State and Eastern Illinois and company, but gets into the NFL and has just continued to grow. I thought it was kind of a undervalued part of the offseason was getting him and Gannon. Obviously, he leaves in Buffalo when Sean McDermott's fired and Jim Leonard goes and takes over that defensive room. But feels like they end up getting two coordinators that could both add a little something different to the mix.
Just knowing defensive football as well as they do and having been in charge of a defense in NFL programs, that's a wealth of knowledge that you would hope the players kind of soak up, right? That no one's thinking, well, I'm trying to get my next gig. It's about imparting that wisdom and knowing the intricacies of what Gannon is looking for day in and day out. Hopefully that, again, at least kind of manifests itself with these players who are learning a new scheme.
Right.
First time for a lot of these guys in this type of scheme, the coaches are going to make a big difference in that regard.
As we have our eyes here on the number 3 is going through their 2-minute drill in practice number 3 of Training Camp Live. Aaron Nagler alongside myself, Bill Schmid. We're seeing a couple of guys who have made names. Now, one of these good matchups here on the outside, day number 1, Marlon Jones maybe had the best play of the day, which capped off the day with like a 98-yard pick six. And then J. Michael Sturdivant, who is going mano-a-mano on him. He's had a beautiful dive.
Sturdivant's had a day so far. He's already had 3 nice catches.
And Nags, is there a spot there like Sky Moore? We just talked about running with the ones. I think his offensive acumen might be a little understated.
Yeah.
Like I do think he's going to be potentially tried out in that spot.
Well,
but I think Savion Williams has had a nice little start too.
Absolutely.
The pads have come
I will say though, in Moore's kind of column, so to speak, something that happened yesterday, they were sending a ton of different pressure looks, tons of different pressure. And there was a play where Zaire Franklin busts through the A gap, untouched. And Jordan Love was aware that was a possibility prior to the snap. And he zips one out to his left side to Sky Moore. And it's a minimal gain, but obviously you avoid a loss. You'll keep going. The quarterback doesn't get hit, etc. That's really, really encouraging that Sky Moore knew what the check was, where to be. And there was no hiccup in the operation when the blitz was about to get home. The quarterback knew where to go with the ball, and the guy was there.
Yeah.
That's a good first step for Sky Moore on the offensive side.
Who, again, I mean, his biggest play in the NFL was running the wrong route and scoring a touchdown in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, right.
I mean, right? Like,
you're not wrong.
If you're
like Randall Cobb's first game, right?
Slowly getting better than that. Slowly getting better than
Knowing where you're supposed to be.
But I think he's going to, he's on the team, right? Like, as you start looking at the 53.
You would think.
You think he's on the team.
We thought about that. We thought that with Hardman last year. You never know.
Fair point.
Never know.
As long as the punts don't go the same way.
Don't drop the punts. That would be my advice to one Mr. Moore.
It's pretty
Don't
dang
drop
good.
the punts.
That's pretty dang good advice that you get here on Training Camp Live when Aaron Nagler is sitting with myself, Bill Schmid. All right, we're going to take a quick timeout, see the rest of this 2-minute, and we'll be back with more of practice number 3 live from Ray Nitschke Field. The return of Tucker Kraft, the debut of the 2026 season on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin's Training Camp Live of Aaron Nagler. And it's a beautiful Friday in the good land. The sun is away, but the boys are playing right here on Ray Nitschke Field, and we got more of Training Camp Live presented by the Potawatomi Sportsbook coming up right after this.
We're live at Packers training camp in Green Bay, bringing you closer to the action than anyone else.
I think this year he's looked very good in camp.
Camp coverage on Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Now back to training camp live with the voice of the Packers, Wayne Larrivee. Here is Packers OT host, Bill Schmid.
Thanks for spending your Friday lunch break with us. It's Training Camp Live on Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin, 1070 a.m. in Madison, 920 a.m. in Milwaukee, streaming live worldwide on YouTube, Facebook, and X on Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin. Most importantly, on Cheesehead TV's YouTube page with the leader of Cheesehead TV, Aaron Nagler, by my side in for the voice of the Green Bay Packers. We are enjoying the remaining portion of hour number one. We just finished some 2-minute drills, so now we get into some individual drills and some special teams stuff. Nags, the special teams drill is not nearly as exciting and as viewed with significance as they were a couple of years ago when the new kickoff rule came in.
Right.
It felt like that year we talked more special teams drill work than I ever thought I would at a training camp. Now it's just baked in, even though the Packers have more change on the special teams side with new coordinator Cam Acord and his cleats at practice.
Bright cleats, bright personality. Guy is like caffeine walking around. It is interesting to see, though. There have been new drills, like drills that we have not seen before. My favorite one so far, are they doing it right now? Because we see they're returning punts. No, there's just a regular return. But 2 days ago, they were doing whoever was returning the punt, they all lined up and one by one, catch the punt from the jugs machine. And as you catch it, you have to throw a tennis ball in the air, catch the punt, and then catch the tennis ball.
Oh, geez.
And some guys were more successful than others. Let's put it that way.
There wasn't 100% of
No,
that
there were a lot of drops.
Sure.
A whole lot of drops.
Well, and you see a position where, like, there's a lot of time there. There's a lot of time to be standing back there waiting. And it's kick returning is so much different than punt returning. Like, it sounds rather obvious. But when you have plenty of time and understanding, you can catch the football, get your grip, get your bearings under you, and then attack to the point where it's like, I sure hope somebody's not in
about
my
to destroy
lap
me
when I catch this ball. Then you cannot take your eyes off of the football to see what's happening. It takes a lot of confidence and a lot of concentration, just like Aaron Nagler monitoring the YouTube stream and chat where we have more super chats next.
Well, we do. We got Mike Witt saying, howdy, boys. I know it's early in camp still, but how do DDS and Sorrell look so far? Really think both of them could make an impact, especially once Micah comes back. You guys know the caveat. Pads aren't on yet. Hard to say with any kind of confidence how either of these guys are going to look going forward. But I tell you what, DDS looks the part. I mean, he looks legit. Got to see it when the pads come on. Got to see him continue to get better. But you said it, man. He getting off the bus. He looks like he belongs.
And you can't fake the kind of production he had last year.
No.
Right?
No.
Like, you get 10.5 sacks in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
That's impressive
there's
stuff.
A floor. There's an impressive floor there that hopefully the Packers can harness.
And similarly to the conversation around now, hold off before you freak out here. When Myles Garrett gets traded to the Rams, people are talking about the different level of production he could have when, I don't know, maybe his team's leading a football game. Right? Like,
what a thought.
At
what
Penn State, they didn't have the lead a lot last year. No. They weren't winning a whole lot of games.
Nope.
And he was still able to pin his ears back and produce. That, to me, is not nothing. And Sorrell, from the guys that come in with the best shape of their life season, Barron Sorrell's right in that mix. I mean, he is cut up. It looks like slimmed down a little bit, maybe in the gut region. Not like he had a pouch on him.
No, he wasn't an offensive lineman.
But my man is svelte and yoked. Looks like he could be ready to roll that way. Frame-wise, he looks the part.
I loved his tape last year. I don't know what – there's like the PFF geeks didn't like his season. I think he showed a ton of promise throughout 2025. And we know a lot of times the biggest jump that guys will make in their career is between year 1 and year 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's the hope with Sorrell because, again, there were lots of promising moments. Hopefully, A, he builds on that and becomes a lot more consistent. But B, if he can do that, he'll get on the field and have more of those opportunities. But that all starts on Monday when the pads come on. Though I will say it is funny, like, you know, LaFleur did indicate they were going to have the spider pads on, which they do today. So they look a little bit squarer, a little bit bigger. I'm not sure that's NFLPA, CBA compliant, Billy.
Well, it's a ramp-up portion, right?
Yeah, it
So
is
we're
ramp
just
up, but it's
adding a
supposed to be
little
no pads, and those are certainly pads.
You know what?
I'm not here to be a locker room lawyer, but I do want to play by the book, you know?
Well, I appreciate it. I wonder if anybody would have a complaint. I wonder if anybody would, you know what,
I
maybe
doubt
more.
it.
We'll just see this in the end of the year on that super special survey.
That
That
the NFLPA
son of a
grades.
gun made us go out here with shells on in day number 3, and I want my money back for my dues.
I like
We'll see,
Joe.
could be.
I like Joe in the chat said, according to Andy Herman, there's no kicking today. Why would there have a day with no kicking? And on days with no kicking, what does Trey Smack do exactly? Joe, I don't mean to burst your bubble here, but I'm going to tell you right now, most days there are no kicking. There is no kicking.
Majority of it.
More days than not, there is no kicking. And what does he do? He works on timing. He works with the specialists. He works with the holder and the snapper. Yesterday, he did kick 3 whole field goals.
3 whole field
from
goals.
25 yards.
Yep.
Smack dab in the middle.
Made them
all.
Made them
Could
all.
you
Made 'em
imagine
all.
if he missed them?
Yeah, sadly I can't, because Nags, I did as he was kicking, I'm like, please put these through. Please don't make us comment on it. But how much of it? And now they bring in the dude with phenomenal flow. He's stretching it out by the headband over here right now. Was formerly of the Cincinnati Bengals to be the backup long snapper. They released Lenny Krieg. Sorry, we barely knew you, Lenny. Could be back as the IPP player. We'll figure it out. But the timing. How much can they do and how much can't they do, obviously, without Orzik being here?
Well, they can work on the operation, and everyone can do their jobs.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's probably going to be a tick different.
A little different. But
that's, I mean, every guy has to take advantage of opportunities, right? We talk about that all the time. Long snapper's no different.
Amen.
They say you can't lose your job due to injury.
That's a lie.
But everybody does at some point.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I just think this has got a chance to make a case, and if it becomes, because goodness knows, we have seen, Billy, throughout the last couple of years, it's not like Orzik is automatic.
Oh, that's
it's not
fair.
like there aren't some
no
wayward
doubt.
snaps at times.
Uh-huh.
So you come in here, do your job, maybe you look automatic, and you start a conversation.
Let's hit a couple of more chats here. Packers superfan. Packers preseason is very predictable. The hype is always more than the team can produce. The most predictable thing ever. Well, that doesn't seem like Packers super fan, right?
Billy, this is what I'm talking about. The cynics are out. And look, the Packers, all they can do is win football games and let people be quiet.
That's true.
It.
That's the easiest way to do it.
All they can do.
Mike Witt on the super chat here, Nags, for us. I know he's on PUP, obviously, but is Mike on the sidelines during camp? Just curious. Going to be in town next Tuesday. They're going to be in pads, ? Going to have a Butterburger from Kroll's on Tuesday. Can't wait. Now,
Mike got a lot in on that super chat.
Well, I made his money's worth. Now, first off, the Kroll's Butterburger, that's just a necessity.
Got to do it. I got in on one the other day.
I
I'm
do
so
have
happy.
a problem with Kroll's, though.
I got a problem with you people. What was that?
Chairs are too comfy. Chairs are too comfy.
It does make it difficult to leave.
It makes it very difficult to leave.
Yeah.
It makes it very difficult when you planned on not having beers with the Butterburger.
Yeah.
Then you sit in the chair.
But
you're
then
like, all right, well,
there
I'm
they
gonna
are
have
right
to.
in front of you at the bar.
Then they're right there. And then the burger's really good. And then the chair's really comfortable. And then you stay much longer than you planned on. So it's one of those issues that is a good problem to have for your
It's the best problem to have.
It's the best one
No
to have.
doubt.
Enjoy that Kroll's burger. But he is out here. Nags, I've made the joke the last 2 days. He's gotten the biggest pop whenever he's walked out of the Hudson Center.
Well, that is the thing. He's not here for the entirety of the practices. He's usually rehabbing inside the Hudson Center. But then at some point, he always does, come out of the Hudson Center and join his teammates and cheering them on. Yesterday, you saw him running with his defensive line mates. So, yeah, he's out here. I know he rode the bikes yesterday for the first time. That's a lot of fun. But, yeah, he's here. He's out and about.
Smack dab right in the middle right now as he's standing right in front of Jordan Love, listening to all the calls and anything possible, anything that you can add. Listen, they say mental reps are a good thing. See Javon Hargrave out here as well as he rehabs coming back from PUP. We got a ton more great super chats to get to. Chats on the YouTube stream for you, and the NicoletLaw.com talking text line is available for hour number 2. It's 877-794-1973. Packers are on the practice field. Team rolling through hour 2 straight ahead. Enjoy it with us on Training Camp Live, presented by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Bet above the rest. It's Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Football season is here.
Shotgun snap to Lovey, bobbles for a moment, now lost it. Right side of the end zone. Watson leaping grab. Oh, sensational touchdown catch.
Packers training camp is underway in Green Bay, and nobody is bringing you closer to the action than us.
We are enjoying some special teams work, some individual drills right now for the offense and defensive linemen, DBs in front of us.
All of the storylines, all of the emerging stars, and all of the big plays out of camp. Analyzed by two guys who know Packers football inside and out.
Quarterbacks at this time of year, veteran quarterbacks especially, they'll be trying throws here that they wouldn't try elsewhere.
Training camp coverage on Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Now, live from the perch above Ray Nitschke Field, with the voice of the Packers, Wayne Larrivee.
And the Packers deliver the dagger.
Here is Packers OT host, Bill Schmid.
Welcome in, Packers fans, as day number 3 of Packers training camp continues. I'm Bill Schmid of Packers OT alongside Aaron Nagler, voice of the fans on Cheesehead TV, voice of Packers Nation, and frankly, the man that potentially gets one of the bigger pops when he walks in to Ray Nitschke Field.
Right,
Not
relax.
Micah Parsons or Wayne Larrivee level, who almost got a standing ovation when he walked up here yesterday.
You know
well
what I love?
deserved.
You know what I love is that the recorded intro, gasses up Wayne, and then they get my sorry ass. You know, I can't apologize enough to the listening public.
That is not true. They get treated to the audio stylings and specialties.
Talk about
of Aaron
treats. We
Nagler.
got treated to a Matthew Golden amazing over-the-shoulder catch on a moon ball from Jordan Love up the right sideline.
Now, one of the
Gorgeous.
highlights of training camp was always the net throw.
Oh, yeah.
They rarely do the net throw in team, and that was what that was down the right
Essentially,
sideline.
Absolutely. I mean, just a beautiful job by Matthew Golden tracking the football over his shoulder, keeping the feet in. Now, if you are a Twitter nerd, you're out here going, oh, yes, but Darian Kennard was holding Brenton Cox Jr. No,
we're not talking about that.
Zach Tom is the starting right tackle and would have been locking down the edge rusher. Just enjoy the catch.
Now, how are you enjoying? Because we're enjoying it so much, having you over on this side, away from the cool guys over there on the media side. You are doing an exceptional job of being able to keep focus on the radio show while also delivering the live tweets and the reactions online.
Gotta do it.
Is it easier with the computer than with the
phone?
fingers on the phone?
Heck yeah. I'm no Andy Herman. You know, Andy's like a ninja.
Yeah, he's a wizard with the fingers. Huh?
I can't do that. I'm too old, man.
That's true.
I don't have that dexterity. I don't have the ability. I'm just, absolutely better with the computer.
I appreciate all the folks that have walked by us and given us a subtle wave with an earbud in. We get you. We know that you're streaming the show either on the iHeartRadio app or watching along on YouTube, X, and Facebook. Make sure you're doing it, whether you're coming to a practice or you're not able to make it. Make sure you're viewing along with us, and we'll give you the stylings of what day number 3 for Packers practice looks like. They break up that team portion here and probably have one more to play as we get into a little bit of special teams. Is Trey Smack kicking what people are most excited for here now?
We've got some uprights being wheeled into position.
Pushed into position.
Now,
right
they're probably
in front.
just going to work on timing. And, Matt said there's no kicking today. So is Matt LaFleur a liar? We will find out here.
Wow, that's a great tease. And that's about as good of a tease as you possibly can get. Is the head coach of the Green Bay Packers a liar?
Is he lying to us?
But I mean, it does feel like there's not an abnormal look at the kicking game because the last 3 years we've come here, Negs, it's been one of the main talkers, sadly.
And how sad is that?
It's
man?
really sad.
Mason Crosby, I didn't
Really
appreciate
sad.
you enough. I'm sorry. I loved you when you were playing for the Packers. I didn't love you enough. That's all I know. That's what the last 3 years has taught me.
I have hated having too much kicker conversation
It's
every single time.
Worst, man. It's the worst.
But they draft 6 players in the 2026 selection process.
They do. Yes, they do.
He's going to be the most important one. He's the last one. He's going to be the most important one because if he makes the team, his foot is going to be trusted with some of the bigger moments of the season. And if he's not on the team, Nags, it's going to be one of the bigger talkers all year long of how did you do that?
But I'm sorry. I'm out on you gave up so much. You gave up a throwaway pick. Let's just relax.
You gave up 2 7th-round picks in a bad draft.
Guys that would have gone undrafted any other year. I'm so over that conversation. It's like they saw value, best kicker on their board. They could go get him, and it was a wrap, and they could start calling undrafted free agents. No problem. I got no problem with that. Everyone's like, hey, that could have turned into Donald Driver. Well, was 1 in a billion chance. It's just, I have zero issue with the Packers identifying, hey, here's a specialist, top on our board, let's go get him.
And I also wonder if maybe the bigger measuring stick will be what Brandon McManus would potentially do in the 2026 season.
Yeah.
But we're at this point not going to get a big chance at looking at that for Brandon McManus as you wait for him to have a new team here in 2026. So, I wonder where the bar will be, because a percentage of kicks made, in all reality, it feels like the definition of pornography that the Congress gave at one point. You're going to know it when you see it, right? And the confidence in the kicking
I would have gone with the definition
more
of
when they
art, but pornography works too.
It's one of my favorite drops.
That'll work as well.
All right. Listen, when you talk about a statement in Congress that doesn't include recess, it's one of my favorite ones.
Well, he is not kicking. He is just following through the football after the snap and hold.
The follow-through looked good, though.
It did look good. It looked like it would have been good. And I will just point out, though, Billy, still, this is what happened yesterday. They did a few of those. There are 2 referees placed behind.
They're waiting there. Yes, they're ready for
them. They're waiting to call good or no good.
Well, listen, it's the failing to prepare is preparing to fail. These 2 young men over here are not failing to prepare.
Yes,
they are not preparing to fail either. Jeff on the super chats preparing us a beautiful super chat. Aaron is the GOAT. Billy, humorous
colloquialisms.
Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, okay. Skeletal remains of Alvin Kamara are second to none. Better chance at the 53. Nair or Sturdivant? Aaron Nagler.
Ooh. Yeah, that's
Thank you, Hunter. I appreciate somebody with
colloquialisms.
Throw that one in there.
Sturdivant's had a really good day, except he did have another drop. So that's 2 in 2 days. That's not going to get you on the club. I'd say Naylor has made one amazingly spectacular catch on day 1, but he did kind of miss a chance to break up what was an interception yesterday. I asked Matt about that actually this morning, and I said it looked like there was some kind of miscommunication there. And he did admit, you would like Naylor to get his eyes back and see the ball coming and break it up so there isn't a turnover. I think, as always is the case, they can make amazing catches and they can be really productive on offense, but none of that matters unless they're balling out on special teams.
Yeah,
and we haven't gotten any live, even close to approximating live special team stuff yet. So these guys are going to come practice every day, trying to turn ahead, trying to make it a part of the conversation in regards to their chances at the 53. But until they start making plays on special teams day in and day out, it's a negligible conversation.
Because it's also one of the things that you can't see until you're in probably a game setting, how you'd attack it. But also, it's probably the most foreign concept to any of these guys.
Right.
Isaiah Nair, I got a pretty good guess, was the best wide receiver on every
team he's ever been on.
So he wasn't really asked to go down and be a gunner.
Yep.
Here, you'll have to. And willingness is one thing, but ability to capitalize on the willingness is another. Does that make sense? We can all be willing, but are you able is another piece of it. And I'm excited to see those guys get that chance to do it, because you're right. That's going to be the real separator, because you look at it with the guys that they have. Sky Moore going to be on the team with his special teams
ability. Absolutely.
Xavier Williams, a 3rd-round pick. He's probably locked in as your number 4.
And Bo Melton's a special teams demon who they love.
There it is. Good luck kicking that guy off the squad. So that's a real tough one for me to crowbar out onto the 53.
Now, I think both of those guys have a shot to stick. Naylor was already on last year, but the practice squad is calling their names, without question. And we know, Billy, especially since they expanded practice squads and the ability to call guys up as many times as they do before you have to sign them, man, both of those cats most likely end up on the practice squad, and most likely at some point during the season will get called up and be called upon. That is just the way the NFL works now. You are going to get chances because, man, there is nobody staying totally healthy all season long.
No, it's not going to happen on any regard in any locker room. How about our friend Tulio? That smell of recently watered grass in the early morning is so good. I couldn't agree with you more. The smells of training camp are a beautiful thing. The food of training camp is also pretty impressive here at training camp. Somebody just walked by with a slice of cheesecake had my eyes peeled to it. But you get the feeling of football being back, especially when day number 1, Nags, we woke up and it was 55. Today, this is the perfect viewing day of training camp. As a fat, I have barely started sweating.
But
And, like, that is
of cloud cover.
Plenty of cloud cover.
Beautiful day.
Clean breeze.
Rain ain't hitting until this afternoon.
And you're going to be well out of here, maybe over to the Potawatomi Sportsbook by the time that happens.
Absolutely.
Like, it's a bad day to not be at training camp because this is about as good as it's going to get.
Absolutely. It's beautiful. I wish I would have been on the radio yesterday when it was hot and sunny. My nose was getting burned.
Well,
you guys were over here under a tent.
Yeah, just know, I mean, as the man that probably is the reason, I shouldn't say probably, is the reason I have this tent for the Perch.
You're welcome.
You are always welcome. You are there is a seat always in here
it.
for the man that ended up getting this tent brought over here for training camp live. Josh Jacobs runs it in front of us, and now we have about as good of a view as you possibly could have.
Got the ones going at it here
for a little bit of red zone.
Now Sorrell out there at the edge opposite LVN.
And
like
Warren Brinson. Now we have a young man with a Warren Brinson jersey next to us. Now he's the first guy I've seen with a Warren Brinson jersey.
That is
I appreciate
that's a rare item. Right
I
there.
like that we have Warren Brinson jerseys available. Him being in with the ones because of Javon Hargrave not being there and Devontae Wyatt being slowly eased in.
Eased in again. Remember being eased in?
Yeah, usually that would happen.
Eased in.
But it is a big camp for one Warren Brinson, who I liked when he got on the field last year.
He just needs to be stronger at the point of attack. I think there's athleticism there. I like his quick first step and the ability to maybe make some havoc in the backfield in obvious passing situations. But they need him on early downs.
Yeah, that's fair.
You want Hargrave and Wyatt out there on third down. Brinson's got to give them something on early downs. And the early returns weren't exactly screaming positive,
yeah,
but
they didn't flow very
I think that's where he hopefully takes that kind of step to become part of a rotation. I don't think anyone's under any illusions that he's going to be a full-time guy, give you even 60, 70% of the snaps, but he can certainly help them eat up some of those early downs and hopefully take on some of those double teams, split the gap, make a little havoc, do some stuff in the backfield, limit the ability for teams to run the ball. He's got to be part of that equation.
Because he's in there right now with, I think, the guy that's gotten the least amount of talk of any player that could line up in the starting 22, Carl Brooks. I mean, Carl Brooks has he's just been there.
Yeah.
Although last year he's the always hustling Carl Brooks. He seems to be around the ball at key times as that ball goes through the back of the end zone. I think maybe miscommunication as they're trying to get it to Bo Melton, whatever it is. But he's going to be a part of it. He seems to be a factor. But when him and Colby Wooden come in together, and now Colby Wooden is playing for the Indianapolis Colts, you do wonder if there's a little bit of a shot clock on Carl Brooks.
You definitely do. And what's interesting with Brooks is that his first year, his rookie year, was so promising. He did so many good things. Mm-hmm. And that was the least amount that he played. But the more they've played him, the more they've upped the snap percentage on him, the tougher it's been. You know, he's another guy where I don't think they need him playing 60, 70% of the snaps, but they absolutely need him to be stout when they do kind of utilize him on those early down situations 25, 30% of the time. He's just got to be better in that regard.
What a grab by Christian Watson, leaping into the back of the end zone.
Ladies
full
and
extension.
Gentlemen, that's why you come out to the ballpark right there. Oh, my goodness.
And now are they shooting craps?
It looks like the celebration was, like
were they playing craps?
Rolling dice of some
All right,
sort.
now we're talking. Let's go.
So.
Hit me for 15 on the yo. They play that ball is placed in a spot that I don't even know Jordan Love thought Christian Watson was going to be.
Well, he made sure that the safety couldn't get it, and Watson did the rest. I mean, that is a beautiful diving catch from Watson. I mean, we talked about it earlier.
Wow.
It keeps being reiterated on the field this morning, Billy. If they can just get to the week one with this 5-man core, as far as the skill positions go, they are going to cook some defenses, man.
It fully feels like the when Christian Watson is on the first team all when healthy team.
Yeah.
The man that
there's no doubt.
The man that just carried the ball, Pierre Strong Jr., trying to take over for somebody else that's on that one, of Marshawn Lloyd. What have you seen from 32, and how many chats have you gotten about Marshawn Lloyd daily?
It's so funny. It's not even the fans. Is yesterday we're sitting over there on the sideline, and one of the television people was like, "What did you see? Marshawn Lloyd grabbed his leg." I'm not doing this, Billy. I'm not doing constant TikTok moment by moment monitoring of Marshawn Lloyd. Like, is he out there? Can I see his jersey? Is he involved? Is he touching the football? Is he doing stuff on teams? We're done. Like, I'm fine. I don't need he sneezed. Is he okay? Is he sick? Is Marshawn Lloyd okay? Like, no, I'm not doing it, Billy.
That
I
makes me so
refuse
happy
to do it.
because I joked about it on the morning show, which is the Huddle, 5 to 8 a.m. on Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin. For Cheesehead TV fans that are listening to this, you can get more of my idiot stylings there. But I was like, whenever he moves and gets up off the ground,
Yes.
will be the biggest gasp audibly that
Yeah.
you catch from the audience and from the fans. But also, like, I put it in and I typed it out, and then I amended it in a text, maybe to you or on Wednesday, because it's like, still ain't gotten hit yet. So even though you get up after falling to the ground, it's different when you forcibly get taken to the ground. And I think too much will be made of the random fluke injuries as well that he's had, where it's like this one in particular, we'll see if it's soft tissue, we'll be able to know. But right now, I think he's put himself in a good position to at least have a chance to be healthy during the regular season.
That's all you can ask. That's all you can ask. And everything else is gravy at this point. Seriously.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
I'll just give us anything.
Number 2, Brandon Cisse giving us a lot to talk about. Day number 1 gave us a lot to talk about.
He looks legit, man.
Running with the 2s. And again, like, his size is noticeable, 6 foot, 190 pounds. But at no point does he look like a 21-year-old just turned. Like, looks really confident in wherever he's aligning in his assignment. We'll see how the play translates, but doesn't feel like it's that he's going to be outmatched because of what he's done in the classroom.
Oh, he looks like he belongs. Like, he knows every nook and cranny of the assignments that are being given to him with every call. Like you say, the diminutive size, shall we say, certainly is notable, but all about the physicality when the pads come on. And then when preseason happens, how is he hitting? How is he tackling? Is that part of the game too much for him initially? You know, there are steps here. But, man, assignment-wise, being where he's supposed to be, he's been lockstep these first 3 days.
Tackling-wise, he was one of the best tacklers at the position in college football a year ago. So I'm excited to see how that part of his game translates to the NFL level. They break up here with the end of practice number 3. And, Nags, there's obviously old takeaways that you want to have. Biggest takeaway, nobody gets dinged up on day number 3. It's always a celebratory moment.
That's the development you want to hear. You want to know that nobody went down. There was no moment where the trainers had to be called out and looked at somebody, etc. All good. And I think one of the biggest developments, we didn't see a ton of him in team because I'm sure they're going slow, but Cooper, who didn't finish practice yesterday, was out there in the walkthrough initially. So they're being cautious, but he should be okay.
And I'm glad you mentioned that because he plays alongside somebody I want to talk about on the other side, and we do a little bit of post-practice recap. It is our guy Zaire Franklin, who is going to be such a prominent figure in how they're going to play and however they can be the best version of themselves in 2026. We'll take a quick time out. Practice number 3 has wrapped up. It has concluded, and you have been listening to it here on Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin. You will be able to continue listening to us up until 1 o'clock as we conclude and wrap up day number 3, week number 1, the acclimation period in the books, the ramp-up period in the books, and the pads can come on as of Sunday. Aaron Nagler by my side. I'm Billy Schmid. You're hanging out with us live on Training Camp Live, presented by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, Cheesehead TV's YouTube page, Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin, as well as Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin, 10-7, 9:20 a.m. in Milwaukee. Hang right here. You're back at Ray Nitschke Field after this.
storylines to you as they happen.
A couple of throws already in camp that have been exceptional.
Welcome back to Training Camp Live, presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Let's return to our perch at Ray Nitschke Field and rejoin the voice of the Packers, Wayne Larrivee, and Packers OT host, Bill Schmid.
Live from the perch at Ray Nitschke Field, we see him crossing the 30, the 45, 40, the 50. There goes Rob Domofsky as he streaks down the left sideline. As the media members exit the stadium, so do the fans, and last players end up enjoying some wind sprints and some family time. Practice number 3 has concluded here at Ray Nitschke Field as the Packers get themselves prepared to put some pads on. Aaron Nagler to my right. I'm Billy Schmid. And Nags, practice number 3, again, no pads, not necessarily the competition-laden period that training camp has been at certain times. But one man that I'm excited to ask you about is somebody that I'm a little bullish on after watching the first 3 days of practice. One of the guys hanging out here doing some pass catching and some pass coverage work, linebacker Zaire Franklin, number 44, right there in the middle. You see him because he's calling the defense. He's kind of coordinating everything. Feels like he's in lockstep with everybody around. They got a guy right there at a position where, not that they've been bad on the interior of the linebacker spot at all, but you get a real seasoned vet who seems like he's got a different leash and aggression on trying to show that he's still one of those guys.
Absolutely. And, man, it's great to watch a guy who has been in the league as long as he has. Clearly a very new, different type of opportunity for him, and he has absolutely embraced it. Like, the way he has really shown up as a leader, seemingly from day one.
Yeah.
And I mean, and look no further than right now, everybody's mostly gone. There are a couple guys doing sprints, like you said. There's a little drill work there to our left, but right in front of us, there's, longtime vet Zaire Franklin, one of his coaches, going over his drops, going over his footwork when he's making these drops. Like, that's a guy who last year had some issues in coverage.
Mm-hmm.
And here he is trying to make sure that that's not an issue in 2026.
It's one of the big reasons why he's here, right? Like, and when you talk to people in Indianapolis, they maybe thought that part of his game was kind of cooked. He has the makeup of somebody who, composure-wise, is who you want in there, and then how he can physically and maybe aggressively add to the defense. Excited to see. He had one of the better defensive plays we saw on day one. Again, no pads, hard to fully quantify it, but the strip of Marshawn Lloyd there on day one.
Yep.
What did it take? 7 or 8 games until their first forced fumble a year ago?
It was the Eagles game.
My God, I didn't even give him enough credit. I gave him too much credit.
It was a while.
So, like, to at least find some way to take the ball away on the interior, there also has to be a freeing up of Edgerrin Cooper that you would assume somebody that knows all the ins and outs of playing in the NFL, play in that position. He can get everybody lined up so maybe Edgerrin Cooper can just be him.
Just flow, man, because that's Cooper's greatest asset, is using that athleticism, knife through the wash and make tackles for loss. You saw a lot of it his rookie year. You saw some of it last year. I got to think, yes, the presence of Franklin right there, locking it down in the middle, allows Cooper to do a lot more of that.
What do you think of Tyron Hopper? Him and Isaiah McDuffie are over here working a little bit after practice as well. McDuffie, newly minted with a little bit of an extension, glue guy. He's not going anywhere. Tyron Hopper, 3rd-round pick. You wouldn't assume he's going anywhere. I liked he jumped off the page with the pick in the playoff game a year ago, but he's on every special team.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably going to get himself in on defense if there's an injury.
Yep.
But maybe you hope you don't see him a whole lot on the field on defense. What's your thought there on 59? Because I know you've been bullish on him.
I think it was interesting yesterday when Cooper did go out. He was the first one up and not McDuffie. Because if you had asked me to go to Potawatomi and put some money on it, I would have said, McDuffie will be the first guy off the sideline. But he wasn't. It was Hopper. And I know a lot has been made about he did look a little lost in that Minnesota game last year, but KOC is going to make anybody look like that, especially when they're in their first
no doubt.
extensive action in the league. But I love him each and every training camp. It's just he doesn't get opportunities during the season.
Right.
So it's real hard to get any kind of feel for what you've got there. Like I said, he looks great each and every summer, but unless he's given opportunities during the actual games, it's really hard to say with any confidence that, sure, they could absolutely survive a stretch if he had to play extensively.
Right. And there's so much unknown there. But the athleticism is definitely no. Like, you can see the athleticism, and that definitely jumps off the page. Cool moment here is our guy Tucker Kraft coming over and signing a couple of autographs. A whole family of 85 jerseys there, and that'll generally spark some excitement. And listen, Tucker Kraft's probably going to be one of the more notable guys, one of the guys everybody's waiting to be able to see here at camp. Again, I'm not we're not the body police here, but my man looks cut up. Like, there is a different level of excitement that we can have for somebody who you've seen do it on the field. Now, hopefully, not a full new leash on life when you get injured. I'm not saying like that aggressive with it, but there's a different level of love of football that you have when it gets taken away from you.
That's the appreciation that you hear guys talk
That's
about
the word choice,
all the time, especially when you miss a season. And he didn't miss a full season, but he missed a half of one, right? And you got to think he's sitting there on the sideline in Chicago, freezing his butt off, thinking, I could absolutely house this game. Like, if I was out there, there would be no question.
Would be a different deal.
We would have won this game. Like, it's gotta have eaten away at him all offseason. And you just love the fact that he was out here today off the PUP, and he keeps talking, saying he's going to be there week 1. That is the expectation. Between having him and Zach Tom ready to go there in Minnesota, that's got to make you feel good as a Packers.
Oh, yeah. It fires you up. And Justin in Jacksonville, hit us up on the NicoletLaw.com talking text line, 877-794-1973. Are you guys shocked that Tucker stepped on the field without a new contract? The wannabe sports agent in me is turned off. Like, I'm actually floored and frustrated about it. Yeah. But as a Packers fan and as the host of Packers OT, fired up. Like, because I think it says a couple of different things, Nags. One, I mean, again, we're not going to make grand assumptions on everything and anything here about a person's personality and motivations, but money's not going to be the ultimate motivation at that point, right? Like, understanding what you can do and believing enough in yourself. Every time he steps on the field, he probably believes the price going up, right?
You would hope.
Every time I touch the football, the price will go up because I'm going to have that good of a year.
The other thought has to be, I mean, I don't know how your mind doesn't go here, is that they're real close.
Yes,
and he's going to get ramped up, right? He's not going to be thrown to the wolves and doing team stuff with pads on at least anytime soon. So he's out here doing the, individual stuff, doing very kind of walkthrough-esque, sessions. And hopefully that means they are real close to getting something done and announced here pretty soon.
It's a rather easy contract to do.
Well,
look at Trey McBride's.
Yeah, right. That's the hope, right?
Boom.
Let's sign this.
Those are.
I know we had those conversations about Devontae Adams years ago, and that never materialized. So
no, that didn't. And we got to hear a lot more on Unk's podcast about exactly why it all transpired.
But I love that Devontae always omits one of the very real and important talking points, which is that the Packers just refused to guarantee anything past the first year. The only time they've ever done that is Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love, and Micah Parsons. That's it. They don't do it for anybody else.
Yeah. And he said, but I should be one of those guys.
Yeah,
I am one of those others. And I think
and then he got lost in the wilderness for 3 years playing with crappy quarterbacks.
Right.
Hope he enjoyed it.
But when you look back at it now, I think he has done what set out to hopefully do, which was validate that he's going to be a Hall of Famer.
He's that guy.
Right? That he's going to be in that going to be one of those cats.
No question.
And now we get to see somebody over here, one of the only guys still working, the only guy still working right now is Sky Moore, as he's trying to make sure that he is the guy and the kick and punt returner for the Green Bay Packers, a spot that they desperately need somebody to lock up and actually be a legit player, not just a spot filler.
All 3 days he's done this.
That's
been the last guy off the field, working on his return game, working on just some drill work as far as fair catching the punts, etc. He knows that's his path.
That's my wheelhouse. Yes, that's my payday.
He's got to be exemplary in that regard. And like I said, all 3 days so far, he has been the last dude out here working, continuing to work.
And again, just the schmaltzy parts of training camp that I love all the time, and I generally enjoy as the Big Bannock Energy goes and checks out some of the family section. Getting to play with the kids and having it be a daycare here after practice is one of my absolute favorite parts of how Matt LaFleur has developed and grown on this.
It's such a great kind of development for training camp versus what it used to be versus what it is now. You're not wrong as far as that family section. As soon as practice ends, all the little kids come running out on the field. That's just great. It's just fun to watch.
When it turns into, Nags, it's almost like when you'd go to a high school football game and the best game was the one that like the 7 and 8 year olds were having behind the stands.
Behind the stands, right.
When the last game happens with the family, that's when it
right,
really gets rolling here. 877-794-1973. Final couple of things. We had Sauter talking about talking defense in a year where it's all about the offense. Very Packer thing to do. I do wonder how the defense gets gels and morphs into itself, because there was a lot of talk, Jonathan Gannon wise, on here's the scheme. There is no scheme.
There is no scheme. Right.
But this is when you start learning and building that scheme by figuring out what everybody does well and who can be starring in a role that maybe you didn't anticipate they would.
Absolutely. And look, that's what training camp's about. That's what preseason's about. You're going to find those answers. You're going to have guys who step to the fore, guys who fall by the wayside. Man, I know everybody wants everything right away, but that's kind of the joy. Enjoy this process, this journey, because week one's going to be here and you're not going to hear about most of these guys. And when you do, it's going to be because someone else went down. So you're going to want to know, who is it? Who is this guy stepping in? What did he do this summer? That's what is so great about training camp.
Jeff Smith had a super chat here. Thank you, Jeff. Great work here for Cheesehead TV. My man said, Billy loved the DDS take. Yes, I'm a Penn State grad. He is the definition of production over potential, unlike some others. Blocked 3 punts last year as well.
Put him out there, baby.
Okay, all right. Sounds good for that
there.
for DDS. Going to have a chance. Going to have a lot of chances because he has a true size and stature that can just play in the NFL.
Absolutely.
And you're going up against mostly NFL guys there anyway. Like, even in practice, if you talk about this being harder than the game, your goal, right? Yeah. Penn State tackles are always going to the league. Whether it's the guy that you have coming up this year, Jeff Smith, named Garrett Sexton, formerly of Arrowhead High School.
Very good.
He'll be starting over there at right tackle. Those guys are going to go to the league. They're going to have a chance to play. That's stuff that you can't necessarily manufacture. Nowhere fast. Said my hot take, LVN has a double-digit sack season.
Here's hoping.
Here's hoping.
Right. I mean, what would be wild is that LVN having a, double-digit sacks before Rashawn Gary does.
That's fair.
Insane.
The coverage of how the Cowboys additions this year have been discussed on the Four-Letter Network is rather surprising, isn't it?
Lord.
I mean, I've seen Rashawn Gary as the key addition like 4 or 5 times, and I was like, wait,
and they're talking Super Bowl. They're talking Super Bowl.
They are talking Super Bowl there for the Dallas Cowboys. That is for sure.
All right. Now I've seen it all.
Now, that was the one you and I both unanimously had as a W.
Yep.
When you and I win-loss to the Packers.
Here at Lambeau, that's a W.
If you have missed that show, go back and check out Carry the G Radio, the podcast, the entire podcast channel. Go down to one of the more viewed ones we've had where we win-loss to the Packers schedule. One of our favorite exercises of the year.
Every summer, baby. There's nothing like, ticking off wins and losses in the spring. That's so good.
Nothing like it. Nothing assigning damnations of a football team who are yet to be fully built together. Mike Witt also had one here. Are you guys having a live stream for family night? Just curious. Cheesehead TV used to do one years ago. My hot take for the season, Matthew Golden has a 1,000-yard receiving year.
I think it's going to be close on Golden. I'd be surprised if it was straight up over 1,000 simply because there are so many mouths to feed. But I love the idea. Clearly love the idea.
Golden or Watson, better chance for a 1,000-yard season?
Watson? It's got to be.
Because the layup throw you would anticipate goes to Watson.
Yep.
That being said, all I'm seeing played back in my mind is that bubble screen in Chicago.
For 40 yards.
If the bubble screen becomes the 3rd and 1 end around, I
prefer it.
If that becomes your favorite short yardage play, then maybe he has a chance. But it is a piece of it, right? There's so many mouths to feed. And the other part and the quiet part that's not always said out loud, they still do want to run the ball, right?
A lot.
That still is going to be the key to the offense, question mark?
I think it's going to be a focal point of the offense.
Sure.
Josh Jacobs isn't going anywhere. It's still going to flow through him. But can we tilt it towards Jordan Love a little bit more? Will Matt LaFleur let Jordan Love cook? He said so today at his press conference after I asked him. But that was a bit of a joking manner. We'll see if that actually plays out.
Well, I don't know. If you're going and checking out Cheesehead TV socials and you haven't seen the video that's up there, I don't know how you hear that as a joking manner when he says let him cook. Tremendous job on the as the socials continue to change up at Cheesehead TV.
Oh,
I just want to give a round of applause for Tyler Herrick.
Tyler Herrick.
Phenomenal
Thank you for
run,
your
Tyler.
service.
Congratulations.
Tyler Herrick.
Now, don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out. Now we got two guys for one job. Early on impressions. Are we ready for midseason? Are we ready for the grind?
I don't know about midseason. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's not get over our skis
That's
here
fair.
a little bit.
That's fair. Give them a chance.
They are ready. I think Noah and Josh are doing a phenomenal job on the social and video side, but there's a lot of ball game left. You gotta do it every day.
That's
it's
fair,
not.
Yes.
You don't just do it and then you're done. Like, you do it every day. And this is just the start. Here's the other part. They've only been doing it for a month. There's a whole football season ahead. Then you got breaking news, you got injury stuff, you got to get out. Like, I had Josh last night talk about, I'm going to be seeing Spider-Man. I'm like, well, you better have your phone notifications on Rumble.
100%.
That's all I know.
You better not be seeing the Odyssey for how long that is. Have you seen that? Is that
I have.
Is that like a job requirement now? I've gotten asked 4 times if I've seen the Odyssey.
A job requirement? No, it's not a job requirement, but I enjoyed it as much as it is beautiful to look at. I thought it was a bit cold. They're very lucky Anne Hathaway is in that film because she absolutely holds it down. She is the emotional core of that movie.
One of my first celebrity crushes was Anne Hathaway.
I can see why.
Yeah, 100%.
Shout out to Bob Strum.
Come on, Bob.
Sturm becoming a Carry the G Club member.
Let's go, Bob.
Really appreciate the support, Bob. Thank you, buddy.
And appreciate everybody that tapped in and enjoyed practice with us as we are kind of a lunch date here on YouTube and X. And being also able to stream it worldwide. We had one, Tulio said, hanging out with you guys from Brazil. Being able to bring this event worldwide is pretty damn cool because
amazing,
it's
amazing.
It never ceases to amaze you how in for football Americans are, as well as human beings loving football, right? I mean, like, we put American football on it. It is football, and people across the globe getting to enjoy it. One of the cooler things to be able to go. How about Hype Television?
Doug Hype, baby.
Billy, down to Carry the G on the stream, or I walk.
Well, if we had any on offer,
Hype, I totally would.
If we had some here, he would, but we don't have any on hand.
He said if Billy's
also, there's no alcohol allowed at Rainischke Field, so I don't want to get Billy in trouble.
Right. No, we can't do that. He said Billy is so likable. That's very nice of you to say.
Got him all fooled,
I'm going to clip that one.
You got him all fooled.
Show my wife that one when I piss her off later. Is he, if he drank a Carry the G on the stream, he could run for governor. It is the time to, right? The gubernatorial race.
I met Tom Tiffany on the sideline yesterday.
That's fair. I did see people were saying one of us. Now, I don't know that Tom got the heads up or if somebody should have given him a heads up. Brother, there's going to be 90 out there.
Yeah,
and real feel on the grass going to be about 100.
Yeah.
I looked over.
He was not prepared.
He's the only guy in a long sleeve shirt and the only guy in full pants.
And tucked in shirt.
Looking the way you should if you're a politician at practice.
90 degrees out.
But I felt bad. I was like, somebody's got to take my man over to the Packer Pro Shop, get him some Cutter and Buck or something, and cool this thing down.
Or get him one of those hats with an umbrella on top,
Yes,
protect the
dome.
That's
a phenomenal
at
statement.
Least.
Nags, I'm going to let you go here and let you go and do the day job. Any last things, takeaways here from day 3 of camp that we did not get to in the first hour and 44 minutes of the stream?
I really want to emphasize what you just talked about a little bit ago as far as enjoying the process and the journey. Man, each and every year, the off season lasts so long. It's the longest off season in professional sports. And then we get to camp, and already, even on our happy hour last night, people are like, oh, God, I just can't wait for the regular season. It's like, whoa, slow down.
Yeah, enjoy the ride.
Enjoy the fact that we're at training camp. Remember, like in May or June, how we were absolutely just begging for some football. Well, now, okay, here we go. There's a little training camp. Let's just one thing at a time. It's all going to come in due time.
I had a friend of mine send me speaking of the Potawatomi Sportsbook, send me a video of like, I miss football so much. I would totally have Rams plus 3.5 when Jordan Davis blocked the field goal and returned it for a touchdown. That's how much we want to have football, that I'm fine losing a bet at this particular point in time to be able to watch it. But I'm with you. Let's enjoy the pacing here.
One step at a time.
Because it's how they're going to have to deal with it too, because we're still over a month until you play a real game. We're 6 weeks away from you playing a real game, let alone a month. And the final one here from Toy Strokes. Hey, guys, what does Lloyd have to do to get a contract this offseason, or is it possible? Love you both. Thank you,
He's just got to stay healthy. He's just got to stay on the field. He's got to make sure he can answer the call when Ben Searman says, "Okay, Marshawn, you're in." Like, it's all about availability.
Because I don't
Everything
question
he
the
does
talent at all.
production-wise is totally immaterial. Just has to be available.
Because he's going to get reps and they're going to need him. They're going to need him to be able to run it. We needed Aaron Nagler today, and when the bat signal goes up, this man shows up like nobody else. Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Thanks for having me, brother.
That was awesome, and we will wrap things up here live from the perch at Ray Nitschke Field for the final time here on day number 3. Week number 1 is in the books for training camp. Pads will come on Sunday. We'll be back here from the perch on Monday. We're back right after this. Aaron Nagler of Cheesehead TV has joined us all day long in for the voice of the Green Bay Packers, Wayne Larrabee. I'm Billy Schmid. Thanks to all those on Cheesehead TV's YouTube page, on Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin's YouTube page. We'll wrap things up right after this, live from Green Bay. It's Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin.
Packers training camp in Green Bay, bringing you closer to the action than anyone else.
And I think this year, he's looked very good at camp.
Camp coverage on Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Now back to Training Camp Live with the voice of the Packers, Wayne Larrivee. Here is Packers OT host, Bill Schmid.
One final time for day number 3 from Packers training camp. It's Training Camp Live presented by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Bet big, bet bold, and bet above the rest. You can go to the Potawatomi Sportsbook and enjoy any of the stylings late night this week. Brewers and Angels going to be on the field. 8:38 first pitch here tonight. Hunter Baumgart, producing the program back in our network studios, will have the baseball pregame show coming up at 7:30 tonight. And Hunter, will you have a Tarek Skubal trade to discuss when you take the when you take the mic coming up today at 7:30?
One can hope. Just one can hope. That's
okay,
all I have.
one can hope. Now, I would also be hoping for the Luke Weaver news that I heard earlier on today. I read Will Salmon at The Athletic there. And he said also the Pirates. Can I break some news here? Pirates ain't getting Luke Weaver. He's got $11 million committed to him next year. There's no chance in hell they're going to pay $11 million for a reliever. Brewers might, and that would be an interesting one of a year of control, then maybe to flip as well in the offseason. A lot of fun trade conversation coming up, and the place to watch all of the action is the Potawatomi Sportsbook, whether it's baseball, soccer, WNBA, NASCAR, but most importantly, the NFL that is right around the corner inside of 2 weeks from the Packers' first preseason game, and we're going to be taking you all the way up to it right here on Training Camp Live. That's it for the week. We'll be back coming up on Monday. Monday. Be here at 11 a.m. Monday and Tuesday, we will have Training Camp Live once again for you on all the Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin YouTube pages, X, Facebook, the iHeartRadio app, and as always, 1070 a.m. Madison, 920 a.m. in Milwaukee. My thanks to Cheesehead TV's Aaron Nagler for joining me. Thank you to Hunter Baumgart for producing it. And thank you for all hanging out with us. It's been Training Camp Live. Day 3 of 2026 Packers Camp is over here on Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin.